Well done, team. Keep it going. Keep it going. Good work. Yes, good side step. Excellent. Working forward. Well done. Well done, team. Good. For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, but mahi never stops. Thanks, mate. Okay, team, come on in. Let's go. Let's huddle up. Bring it in, guys. Nominate your homegrown hero today. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.
Tēnā koutou e te iwi, and welcome back to Day 2 of the 2023 Bunnings Warehouse National Touch Championships. Not only is it Day 2, it's Game 2 of the live stream. In the commentary box I have with me Rod Walker, superstar, coach, expert of everything, analysis, you name it, he's done it in Touch New Zealand. And joining me shortly, hopefully, will be Reese Young from the Canterbury men's team. Hot game here, Rod. Open men's, doesn't get much quicker.
Absolutely, this is, we're near the best of the best here. Counties, both teams chock full of current touchbacks and plenty of experience all around at the highest level of the game. So really excited to see what transpires here.
Yeah, had an opportunity to watch the Counties Manukau Black team earlier today against Whanganui. And they were pretty sharp. In fact, they were clinical. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bay of Plenty team go against them as they're straight into their work. Maddie Sinclair throwing it out to number 5 for Counties Manukau, Austin Franklin. Maddie, obviously one of the key players in this game, Rod. He's just incredible on attack.
Yeah, he's got, Maddie's got a big engine, so he'll never die. He'll just keep going right to the very end, and it's that sort of attitude that's infectious. It picks the teams up and just keeps them driving. So one thing you will get out of this Counties team, there's the heat. What do you reckon? Carlos might have said, get that into you there.
Nah. I think he was halfway bent over backwards as defender. Carlos Savage, another one of the superstars in this game, which is littered throughout this game. One thing about Maddie that I really like is there's people who are competitive, and then there's people like Maddie who are just insanely competitive. Sometimes doesn't quite get the balance right, but I just love it, and that's why he's such a winner. As we see, just coming on from the sub-box, number 14 there for Counties, Mark Hodson, again, a player that you've had a bit to do in the New Zealand mix setup.
Yeah, and he's coaching now in the under-18 New Zealand boys crew, so plenty of experience there, and Counties just going through their paces at the moment. No errors to speak of at this stage, which is good.
Chauncey Edwardson, good to see him back for the Bay of Plenty team. Gee, this game's so quick. You're talking about Bay of Plenty 1 second, and next minute Counties have got the game. As it finally slows up, see Chauncey getting the ball looking wide. 6 again.
Come on, boys, gotta lift up
the man himself, after signing, how many autographs was it this morning there, Reese? You must have RSI. I'll bring an ice pack into the commentary box next time to ensure you that wrist of yours is all right from all the signatures.
Oh, I can tell you what, I'm a little bit huffy-puffy coming across from field 11 there, my mate, but looking forward to calling this game with you, Maya. Bay of Plenty, I watched them in the first game against Canterbury, and they look pretty sharp. You can go here looking for a 32 pack.
Field 11, I'm sure it's field 2 right next door. I'm not sure why you're huffing and puffing so much.
Holy heck, Running's a bit different than burpees, my mate, but here we go. Yeah, Chauncey there looking for the peel.
Taylor, Hugh, we're just looking through the team list just before the game started, and both teams, you look at counties and think, holy moly, a heap of touch blacks and players who've been playing for ages at the top level. Then you look at Bay Plenty and that equally as much. Taylor Hawk for
these games, Mauri, are going to come down to the fundamentals of the game, really, and minimalising the mistakes. As you can see, I was about to say loaded counties, looking to take the short side and then stepping back into a passive play, and beautifully defended by Chauncey Edwardson. He's predominantly a strike player, but it's good to see him working on defence and lifting in the lane there, and Bay Plenty will look to work off their line here and keep it nice and structured. They got a nice yardage package. They basically wore Canterbury into the ground in the first run this morning, and here they go. They're still hissing with Carlos Savage, looking to get onto the ball with a nice 32 platform. Shaq looks long, tipped on, look a bit forward, but the referee's going to play on. I think these referees, Maya, will be looking to really open up this game at this level.
Yeah, I think they'll be first looking to survive because the speed of this game is unreal. But second, keep them apart. It's always the easiest to referee when you keep the teams apart, and it's more exciting for people coming to watch, so that we can see some attack down the right end of the footy field.
Yeah, when I talk about the fundamentals of the game, just the way that they're playing the ball, they keep separation. I've been trying to make it a major focus for some of my teams, but if you're ever going to want to learn how to play touch and work on the fundamentals, you just sit in the in-goal and you watch these guys go toe-to-toe.
Tiwi Davies, I still remember him in the mix set-up in the New Zealand black shirt. He was just amazing, and even with Wellington, he's one of the most naturally gifted, beautiful players to watch. But I mean, there's a heap of them. I just seen Shaq go off, and Shaq's hard to ref because you have no idea where he's going. You think he's setting up left and he goes right. Oh, get away with a hard touch. Didn't get away with a hard touch there. Bay Plenty. Didn't really see too much in it, but setting the standard, which is good. Because if you don't set it with these two teams, it could go pear-shaped.
Yeah, and it's not square. I'm surprised they let that one go. These kind of battles are going to, that might be a little bit of a square up here. These kind of games, penalties still to Counties Manukau. These games come down to, it's a bit of a cliche, but a matter of inches. Like, I'm looking through the lineup here, the Bay Plenty Open Men's. This is basically another New Zealand trial on show in round 2 of the Open Men's grade, where they're going and just a little wee split there, and then they feed the splitter to create the overlap, and just a little bit of skill set there. So
we've seen that 3 times now, Reece, where they've gone for the long ball and the winger's intercepted or the linker's intercepted in that lane, the pass. So both teams obviously know what the other teams are going to do and where they're trying to hit. So you see Shaq Stone take a great yard there. Setting it up, Taylor Hall on the ball now, looking for options. Another intercept.
Yeah, the links here are world class, especially some of these boys from Counties Manukau. New Zealand representatives that have been to the World Cup. They represented 5-10 years for their provinces and stuff like that. So as you can see, Wilkie here coming in on the ball, looking to drive. Just a beautiful set here off the back of yards, looking to manipulate the defence. Yeah, great touch there, great honesty too. A little bit of chat, which is always good to see.
Really good D. I don't know how they man up in the men's. It's crazy, the agility and the speed that they're going at forward, and they're able to get back 7 and man up. So great D, as you said.
Just watching Carlos Savage now. This is the latch play that's pretty popular now, with the link that latches on and tries to get that far side middle to bite, to open up the field. Here's Tiwi in at half. He'll look to come short side and the followers option. Yeah, beautiful defence once again.
Penalty, I think, just short of the line, which will be good. It'll be pretty impressive to see if Counties can repel Bay Plenty here, because look at the attack that they've got on here at the moment, the Bay Plenty team.
Yeah, so your main defenders here. Your main defenders here will be, your Nate Turners and the likes of Hutch and Mark Hodgson as well. Gee, what a comeback to the game this guy's had. Here you go on attack now with the sweep play. Feeds the sweeper. Looking for the short ball, yes.
What do we got? Yeah. Oh, great honesty there.
Before the replay, I had a classic example of honesty in our game against our 30s game against Bay Plenty. For all money, it looked like a touch. The guy got up and said, "Ref, I just didn't get him, mate." And we got a try from it, but he's the first person I went and shook hands, because that's what we need in our game to remain.
Yep.
And as you can see, a perfect example, regardless of the level. Counties Manukau there, I didn't get him, mate.
Yeah, and from a ref perspective, when you see a player do that where they, like you say, it for all money it looked like a touch, and they say no touch, that stays in your mind, and next time if that person does call a touch, that you're going to believe him just because the honesty he showed in a previous game.
Yeah, 100%. And you got Matty Sinclair out there, the orchestrator of this unit, running the play. There's Carlos Savage. It's almost like he's taking that role on as that latch yardman and looking to work off the ball. Jordan Tuakana here looking for the passive line. Chauncey looking for the tip on.
That's great yards from Bay Plenty. Very consistent, like really much down the throat. Well, not in the middle of the field, but they're getting a lot of yards out of that, which means when those players swing back to the middle, that's off a good platform to attack from.
Look at the way the counties are playing here, bro. Like, this is their sub-box on this far side, but they want to move the ball and back their condition to open up the field to bring it back to their box. Like, that's touch 2, and they're at the half. It's you back your skill set, and it's a bit risky, but the reward's going to come off the back of the set and the way that they're sub-sweep on here. There's a latch as well. Most teams are running a latch. Last touch, looking to scoop the open side.
Another intercept. Ooh, offside, I'd say. Probably left a little bit too early. The latch, can you just unpack the latch for me, what you mean by that?
Yeah, so basically when a fresh sub comes on, he runs towards the middle player, and what he's trying to do is when he curves back out towards their other sub box, he's trying to get him to latch on as a defender and drag him across to open it up. And a lot of the times you can end up with a 4-on-3.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why they call it the latch. Little we step back here, the passive fly was there as well. And they hit the short and they chop in, so once again, a simple play, but very, very effective.
And a game of inches, like I'm sure that Bay of Plenty was shutting in to get him and just missed him, as we see.
Yep, so great pre-touch there from Jordan Tuakana, the step back. And if anything, maybe just that shutting middle, if he's a step earlier, he allows Chauncey to kind of hold a wee bit there and make that touch. So once again, it's the little things. Tiwi will definitely look to get on the ball here, Tiwi Davies. Looking for the sweeper. Wouldn't surprise me if they run the plus, they feed it back, yep. And he should be down. And there we go. I've been watching a lot of touch over the weekend and over the summer, and you can almost, like when you watch enough touch, Mauri, you can almost see the way it's going to run.
Yeah.
So here you go. The link comes down the lane and it looks like it's going to be a sweep. You feed the splitter because that middle there was just too tight, and then he has to put the brakes on because everyone else is in man on, and then he just can't pick him up with the foot speed. So that's how that plus works. It's just feeding the splitter. And then unfortunately, you got a bit of a momentum, and this game is like the tide, ebbs and flows. At the moment, Bay of Plenty, they're feeding the winger there. That's called a snake nowadays, bro. You snake one down the sideline.
Normally when I say something, it gets the commentator's curse. I was just thinking it then, and I was just about to commend Bay of Plenty for how accurate they've been and no turnovers.
And what I did notice just then, bro, that was the first time that Carlos Savage hadn't run that latch play, that link play.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Sasu here, Wihongi on the wing, traditionally a middle link. Don't be surprised, Meyer in this game. Here we go on a 32 platform. Sean Wilkie looking to go long, and great defence from that winger. They've got a couple of young wingers here now, Bay of Plenty. Taurere Pewhairangi unfortunately can't play Nationals this year. He's doing a fundraiser, a hikoi. Look at Shaq. Shaq's really taking the lead on the yards. This is a total different role that I've seen from Shaq traditionally, and he's taking it on board, and that's great leadership too.
Yeah, and that's just team first type touch, right? Like, he's probably one of the most dangerous attackers in the team, but as you said, him and Carlos just doing a lot of the yard work. So you see the man of the moment, the number 12 from Bay of Plenty. 6 again, are we? What are we getting? 6 again or a drop ball? 6 again. Good call from the ref.
I was going to say, Sass being a quickie man in the inside, Damien Darlington there at halfway. As when he want to burn a touch, he'll do a quickie on the wing. It's old school, bro, but I've seen him this morning get Canterbury a couple of times. And rightly so, it's just this moment of inches where the dummy half's trying to give his quickie man every little bit he can, and the referee well picked up there.
Yeah, sometimes when I was refereeing, I'd see the dumper just almost run for it. I'm thinking, oh, mate, making it hard for your dummy half. Ooh, probably got away from one there. I guess there's angle of the number 13 from Counties here. A little bit of angle in his shoulders in the roll ball, but definitely thought the intent of the Bay of Plenty defender was to try and mess up that roll ball. This way here, just catch and pass. Who gets there first? Looks like all clear from the referee. And the Bay of Plenty winger definitely thought it was a touchdown too. What happened here, Reese?
Well, just going back to Shaq and his role, really, like they take it away from him. They run that plus again. So as you can see here, Tiwi Davies is going to look to sweep. And what they'll do is they'll feed the splitter, and because he goes man on straight away, they cut back to the short side. The link there just, Morrison was just a wee bit too late to come off the line, and then the winger had to make a decision, and always you go for the touch or the ball. And there you go, 3-1 lead. Plenty are on here.
Yeah, very surprising. As I said right earlier, I watched the Counties play against Whanganui earlier in their first game, and they were just clinical. It was like poetry in motion. So, in saying that, Reece, is it hard sometimes when you have a game, your first game, and it's probably not getting tested too much, and then you come into a real hot battle against one of the top teams? Is it hard to transition?
100%. Yesterday, my 30 side had the New Zealand Defence Force, and no disrespect to them, but we kind of took the brakes off a wee bit, took the gas off a wee bit, and then we had Manawatu, and they taught us a lesson straight away. You need to be on.
Yeah.
And then we went in and got another one, and unfortunately this morning, we came up against a good Plenty side and got tipped over, so that's the way it is. In touch, and this could happen also with counties. You almost want that hard one straight up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in a World Cup you want New Zealand and Australia. That's a bit out the gate, but and knowing that Canterbury ran Plenty quite close, here comes Tiwi down the lane there. So when I say down the lane, the link is looking for that dingo play. Plenty are running it a wee bit different. You'll see it in the replay hopefully here, where Tiwi, usually he would come down on the outside, but he actually comes on the inside of the splitter here. So on the outside, now he's running on the inside, almost like a traditional rugby ID, and as you can see there, that's ball down. That's a great call by the referee. Nice easy one in this position.
And what's the difference in option there in terms of coming down through the middle as opposed to the outside?
Yeah, well obviously you pull a little bit tighter as a defender, and then as you can see, Tiwi took him to the short side, and with his ability, a senior member now on the New Zealand Touch Blacks, and he's an out-and-out classy player. He's going to get that down.
Yep.
And I'll go back to what I said yesterday. These sevens are massive. Here we go. Wilkie looking to sweep. Goes back, looks for second phase. This is a nice play. Oh, yeah, he could have bombed away to the winger there.
Kicked the ball. Must have been a little bit of a foot in there, I imagine.
So it was a kick and automatic sin bin, Mauri?
Oh, it's not so much the action. It's the action plus where the action is.
Yeah, quite.
And how much pressure you are, as you know, being involved in rugby, that being in that red zone, and I think counties were almost certain of a try there. It's probably lucky that it wasn't a sin bin and a penalty try. Fortunately,
yeah,
there.
And it's 4 sets. Is it 4 sets?
Yep, 4 sets, which pretty much means 2 sets each. So that's the first set that Plenty have been able to defend. It doesn't have to be 6 touches. It could be 1 touch or any number of touches through to 6 touch.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so Whānau, if you're not too sure, one of the Plenty players was sin binned. He's sent to the end of the field, and he has to spend 4 sets of touch, or the equivalent of in the sin bin. At the moment, Plenty are down to 5 players. They'll look to slow this play down and at least finish on the end goal. But traditionally, I'll go back to Shaq Stone. He would have been on the ball here, but he looks like he's playing a beautiful team role. And here we go with 5. He gets into the end goal.
Oh, that's a killer. That must be a killer for the counties box.
It's a killer, and sometimes it's harder.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you just lax off a wee bit because you think you've got the extra number, and all it takes is a little bit of brilliance here. Jordan Tuakana with a nice weaving play. And as you can see, there was separation created by the 2 middles. We call it corner, which has taken the short side away into a shut. Both middles separated, and he took the opportunity. Pete Walters, the likes of Pete Walters and a Leon Skinner would have been licking their lips on those ones, but to score with 5 is tough. Counties will make sure that they get their play alive. There'll be very little dummy half play here. Get the play alive, and they'll be looking to run. As you can see here, there should have been a penalty for rolling. Damien Darlington here playing a bit of a cat and mouse with Matty Sinclair. Nice and tight. Gets the play through call.
You talk about the 2 defenders for counties splitting, but it's also the quality of Taylor Hall. Incredible player, representative in many, many sports. And he reckons he can play a bit of golf too. So great work there from Taylor. But to score 5-1, this is going to be a
OZ play.
Whatever happens in the rest of this half, the second half's going to be spicy. Wouldn't mind going to listen to what happens in that county sub box. Phase play, is it back short?
Beautiful pass.
What do we have? Touch there, great touch. This is what you call scramble. This Plenty are on. Plenty team, they're on, Reece.
They are, and they're still down to 5 Whānau, so Damien Darlington would look to take this touch. She would have come back with him too, with his broken back, now back into the big time. Oh, beautiful tip on that far winger. I don't think he's subbed off. Mauri, he's been quite sharp out on that edge for a young fella. I'm not too sure. Number 5.
Reese, is it just me, or Counties almost look more disorganised on attack versus 5 as they were when they had 6?
At this level, and it becomes quite skittery. You need cool heads, and there it is there. That's the numbers. Okay, so obviously what they were trying to run, smart enough, Matty Sinclair knew he had to stay out there because at the end of the day, he knows all options, being one of our primary New Zealand men's players for a long time now. And you can see it now. He just had a little look there. He knew that Darlington would come. We split his way. It's a 3-on-2 straight away. And as long as that link there chops his hole, the winger has to hold. Okay, and it's an easy try. So back to 5-2 Counties. They should be back to 6 now. Is that right?
After this set,
no, I can still see him out. Yeah, I can still see him out the back there in the sin bin. I can see the big wigs of Touch New Zealand there. Peter McIntyre. In the in goal there. Here comes Shaq Stone. Now he's on the ball. Yeah.
When you go 6 against 5, in particular when you're on defence, do you change your defence? Does it go back simply as it corners and shuts?
Yeah, it's whatever you're running. If you're running man on, you just stick to it. Here's a corner. The middle will shut on the... yeah, it's nice. That's much better defence.
And we're back to 6-on-6 with a minute to go.
Run me through these 3 officials here, Maya.
They've had will we see an intercept there from Sasu? We happy with that? Good.
Man, he's sharp, man. Sass, he's still sharp. Tawera all here. Here on the ball now. Watch him. He's deadly. There it is. Yeah. Caught it straight away. I watched him in the first game this morning and I was just like, man, this kid can play. Very, very sharp. Obviously in the bloodline of the all here whānau. But I can tell he's already got him now. Step back, shutter not there.
And again,
Cameron Todd there, just a little loose on that play. I'm thinking Wilkie will be out there and running a lot of defence shortly. 6-2, but yeah.
What I like so far, Reese, is I haven't had to email anyone from the Slam Dunk Committee. We've had some very technically appropriate slides in as we see. Counties number 5 gets in through to the back. Nice little screen there from the winger.
Boston Franklin sharp young Boston. There he is out the back there, trudging to the sideline, but I'd get him off. I wouldn't have him playing any defence as well, as you can see here. Checks back in to make sure he's on the ball. Medi gives him a nice split. Yeah, and there he goes into the in goal. Very, very smart there how the winger comes infield and blocks his winger, and then the link drops under. And there's full time there. Tiwi looking to get something. Here we go. Draw feed. Ooh.
Half time. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Very dominant half from Bay of Plenty. As you can see the score, Bay of Plenty 6, Counties 3 as we head into the half time break.
Well done, team. Keep it going. Here you go. Good work. Yes, good side step. Excellent. Working forward. Well done. Well done, team. Good. For Bunnings homegrown heroes. But Mahi never stops. Thanks, mate. Okay, team. Come on in. Let's go. Let's huddle up. Bring it in, guys. Nominate your homegrown hero today. 1, 2, 3.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
Starts with touch.
Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels. proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
Tēnā koutou te whānau and welcome back to the half-time break and the second live stream game between the Counties Manukau Open Men's versus the Bay of Plenty Open Men's. Reece, I just snuck out of the comms tent to stand at the back of the Counties box to see what they'd say after that half. Like, I reckon they'd be very surprised in terms of how dominant Bay of Plenty to be, and Mark Hodgson was taking the lead in that little huddle there, and I really liked what he said. He basically said that first half isn't who we are. We know that. We don't need to debrief it. Let's get back out there and be who we are. And I like that. It wasn't we don't need to unpack it. Let's just go be who we know we are.
Yeah, at 6-3, I was just watching while you were eavesdropping there. I was watching the player Plenty huddle, and very, very composed, very, very controlled in what they were doing. And they got a good lineup here. Tiwi looking to plant for Chauncey on the peel. Yeah. Just defensively here, that's a great play from Link, how he lifted up into the lane knowing that they were down on numbers, and at the end of the day you knock it down, it's saving a try. So here we go now, looking to the sweep play into the short second phase.
Look, I mean, it's 6-3 as we see a penalty there, and Bay of Plenty being dominant, but when you got players like Matty Sinclair, you got Mark Hodgson, you got Nathaniel Turner, you know that it's not going to be like this in the second half. They're just three of the most competitive people I know. So I think this is going to be hot, and really a credit to the referees. There hasn't really been any clashes out there, and they really need to keep that standard because these two teams are really going to go at each other here.
Counties aren't going to go away. Here we go into the passive line. Tiwi's going to have to pick him up. Yeah, great athleticism there. So passive, which means that the far side Link, he'll drop into a deeper pocket, as we call it. On the passive line, kind of named after its action, really. Here comes Carlos Savage. He's back to his mahi, as per usual, with that ledge link, and he's going to look to double up here on fourth touch, and here's a nice little drive, looking to get on the ball. Ponda.
Talked to Rod yesterday around unsung heroes in the players that sort of don't get probably the recognition the ball players do, and Carlos Savage was one of those main players for him. He said, any team that has him has a good chance of winning just because he does the mahi.
Well, sometimes in your touch career, if you want to continue to push, because they are senior members now. There's Boston Franklin again, man. Gee, this kid has got a big future. You almost need to take on a different role. We saw at the last World Cup, Mauri Stone Jr. Became more of a rucker, a setter, whereas traditionally, he was on the ball. You can now see that with his little brother, younger brother, I should say, is doing a role. Carlos Savage, as you say. I saw Mita Graham, the New Zealand captain, one of our best ball players over the last decade, playing in the middle, doing some defence today. Like, at the end of the day, it's all about scaffolding in and knowing how you're going to best help your team.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a gold medal around your neck doesn't have an extra scribble saying you're the best diver or things like that. It's you're the team. So
2 penalties here, 4 counties. Bay of Plenty will need to be really accurate here on defence. They won't want a third one. Not entirely sure if that first one was on the line. It was for offside. It looks like it happened a little bit off the line, but we'll see if there's a third penalty. Didn't get body over ball. I really like that call. It's such an advantage to not get your body over the ball or get your leg over it at least. So good call, sharp. These referees have been on. 23 minutes of quality refereeing by these guys.
Just watching who's going to be the latch here. Yeah, the young fella, number 4. And then drawing a penalty. That's quite often what can happen with the latch play. You can draw a penalty and buy yourself an extra set. As Bay of Plenty here will look to play there. Look for the Tiwi Davis. Here he goes. He's looking to come down for that dingo play, bro. That email down the link. Here he comes there down the lane. He looks to take the short side and then can go open and bomb away. Great defence on the wing there.
Would you go back to that again?
I would, but I'd probably look to step back and go into second phase, get someone chopping a hole. And here they sweep again. Bay of Plenty are keeping it very simple, but with a 6-3 leader, just often.
As I said, Mark talked about just doing what we do. What would that be if your county's 6-3 behind?
They got to get back to their game. Their game is a running game, As we can see here, Maddie Sinclair instigating with the latch, and now looking to come onto the ball, and now we look to sweep. This is the running game that they're well known for, this counties, and set up these bunch of boys that play together a lot.
That was a really good fifth touch from Bay of Plenty there. If you see Matty Sinclair as he was sweeping around, he actually needed to go back towards his defensive score line because the defender got up and really won that ruck. So well done to that Bay of Plenty player. I think it was actually number 11 from Bay of Plenty, Tawera Ohia.
Yeah, and County's just going through the ruck there, and they've got away with that one, and Bay of Plenty have made a mistake over there by the sub-box. Those ones there are the coach killers, right in front of the sub-box where you put so many hours into it.
And it must be just a mental thing, a switch off. You're already in the sub-box before you're actually in the sub-box.
It's a mental thing. Manny Sinclair ripping off short side here. Nice defence there by Chauncey Edwardson, one of the better defenders in the country in the leg spot. Shaq, nice profile. Jordan Tuakana needs to get under here. Yeah, great defence again from Bay of Plenty. Gee, you're right, they are on here today. Nice touch profile there. Jordan Tuakana needs to get in for that dive. And there's the shutter there. Shaq Stone, beautiful defence here. I'm hoping that there's a lot of people on TV and at home watching just how to defend. That's perfect corner shutdown defence here.
I don't quite know who that referee is, but so many referees would have penalised that Bay of Plenty player, and that absolutely wasn't a penalty. I've been really impressed with that referee, that young man who's out there at the moment. Just in the heat of the moment, two top open men's teams, it's so easy to lose it. But he's been very composed, very, very good, and added a lot to this game. So,
great defensive set, and Chauncey, he'll be the first one to rip himself a bit of a reprimand there. Just body position, rucking the ball. You know, they've done so much hard work in our counties. This could be a momentum shifter here, Whānau at 6-3.
Talked about being connected. I think Bay, I know they've had two inaccuracies on the last two sets, but they're connected in every facet. Defence, attack, and yards in particular. So they've come to play. This is day one, game two, and they are on.
Yeah, I'll work across here to Franklin. Here they go here. Young Boston, look at him rip off. He's really looking for someone to work for him here. He'll split back in. He'll get the ball back. Man deserves the ball in his hands. He's so good. Here we go. Now they're going to set up. Looking to take the short side and then back open. Yeah, must have just been onside.
Probably the first time I've seen the defenders on Bay of Plenty be up making the touch at the same time. I thought Counties probably would have broken them down there, but fortunately didn't.
I think our name sheets might be a wee bit off there, because Hutch there looked like he was onside there, but he's not down as number 18, so we'll move on. Here comes Dewey Davis. The thing is with this Bay of Plenty side, like most sides though, but they've got their groupings perfect for what I can see. You've got Tiwi dominating this right-hand side. You've got Chauncey over there on the left-hand side, Chauncey Edwardson, and all his experience.
And by groupings, do you mean, obviously it's not the six, it's the two middles, is it? Are you talking
the link, they might be running five links in the middle, and then with those 5 links they might have a pair. So if you and I were a pair, any time of the game, one of us is on. And then there might be a 3 on the other side. And it might be 2 attackers with 1 primary defender. And it looks like, from what I'm seeing here, Carlos Savage and Shaq Stone, 2 of our best attackers in the game, are taking that role on. Because Tiwi and Chauncey are looking to get on the ball a lot more. But also Puna, he's been exciting as well. So here we go, here's Wilkie. He really needs to probably take more of a role here. I know he's doing a lot of defence, but he's a class player. And here they come now, Matty Sinclair.
Yep, I thought we'd go back for the penalty there. Just way too much disadvantage given to Matty Sinclair there by the defender. Just stepping to the right, stepping to the left. So I know you're allowed to turn around and follow if you're beaten, but you can't just be a shadow. In the old days, I used to love it when players would say they deviated, and that rule was gone before I even started, which was only a couple of years ago.
Unfortunately, second phase there, but the dummy half wasn't there.
Touch and pass. That was a close one.
6-3 Bay of Plenty, and I know the number looks good, but it's their defence that's getting them through this game. Their communication, I can hear it through the tent. You can hear it on the comms. Here's Shaq again looking to check off.
If anything that's dropped away for the Bay, it's potentially their yards. We had a couple of drop balls or in the roll ball, and even this set. It's been a good finish to the set, but the first 2 a little bit clunky. That's the passive you talk about.
Yeah, passive into man on. Matty Sinclair could see that the link had dropped right under and went onto man on to make sure that his link didn't have to slam it. And here they go now. Yeah, the Bay have plenty of yards. I think a little bit of fatigue might be setting in, and you're going to get that 30 minutes into an open men's. This is a potential semi-final come Sunday. And here we go, looking to take the corner, looking for the back door. Carlos Savage.
Talked about a potential semi-final, not the final. Who else have you got up there in terms of could be there in the last game of the day of the tournament?
Someone asked me this morning, well, who's my 4? Waikato on paper and on field are red hot. At the moment, Bay of Plenty, I have Bay of Plenty and I've got this counties team in there. But I've also got I wouldn't write Auckland off. I know that who they've got is a lot of quality. Michael Kavanagh back to full fitness. Sean Law, the boys that are in there, they're looking pretty good. Chops as well. It's good to catch up with him down at the Kaiawa tournament. Auckland, I think will be very hard to beat. But then again, there's no easy beats. Wanganui defended this county side out. Jordan Katook and looking for a kick on the short side. Yeah.
I haven't said his name much, but he was pretty dominant in the first 5 to 6 minutes of the first half there of this game, Jordan Tuakana. I really liked what he did on attack. So you see, Tiwi off to Taylor.
Did he sneak in? Pass again as well. They send the sweeper and feed the splitter. Very, very effective. They seem to be running 2 predominant plays. The dingo or the sweep. Here comes Chauncey on the ball. Feeds the splitter again.
Oh,
did he make the line?
I don't think he would have. Forward pass, that's lucky, otherwise that was a definite try. Taylor, that's that IQ stuff. Instead of trying to go around the outside, he knew he was off, stepped back and went under. Unfortunately, that pass was forward.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, Chauncey Edwardson gives that referee a full noise spray, but very, very experienced now. Here they go with speed. Here's Bowen Boston. Why, you got to play through there for us?
I'm going to guess that there was probably some infringement from counties why you couldn't play through. 2 wrongs don't make a right. So referee going back, and this young fellow, he's been pretty on the ball. So I didn't quite see what there might have been, but counties with the ball anyway. Fresh set. Bay when he had the opportunity to.
Boston's going to want to get it back here.
Reset your defence. Bag's not chasing this down.
Yeah, once again, here we go. Number 12. Puna, he's had a great game actually from the middle there. Gets back on side nicely. I'd like to see the replay back there, but lifts off the line and gets in the passing lane, and he either becomes a hoha, bro, a pain in the passer, or he's there for the intercept. Here he goes here on this replay. Franklin actually drives. He's the better man in the better spot. Steps up into the lane. Couldn't quite see the touchline there, but you've got these referees have been pretty good in this game. You've got to back the on-field referee that he made the line. And
I think that broke the shackles through the game. They'd been 6-3 for quite a long time. In fact, probably from half time, and that just broke the shackles there. I wouldn't call it a grind, but they're just back and forth, not really much happening. Bay of Plenty broke the shackles, gone out to 7-3.
Yeah, and although there's quite a few younger players in this Bay of Plenty side that are new to nationals in this open men's setup, they've got great grounding. Tauranga boys, Rotorua boys, and then when you've got the tutelage of the likes of these senior players in the Bay of Plenty team now, Chauncey Edwardson, Shackstone, formerly Morrisstone, is now running for counties at the 30s grade, Carlos Savage, Tiwi Davis, you can just keep rolling them off. They're going to get their touch IQ and their education up pretty quick. So if county's going to make a move, I know it's 7-3, I've seen them come back before, but they're going to have to make the momentum all the way through here and make very little mistakes on defence. And there's a little short side play looking for the step back, but the defence was there, the shutdown. Into numbers.
Great touch there, yeah. I think not only, have they got their great grounding, but I reckon great coaching. Like you look at the Melbourne Storm, they bring players in who are nobodies in other teams. Suddenly they become stars, because what the Bay of Plenty team look like is they have their roles, and that's what they have to do. They don't have to be the man in the middle. They just got to do the first 2 ruck yards hard and defend on the left-hand side. And I think as a player, if you just had a simple role to do and you go out there and do it, then it must make it so much easier as we see, unfortunately there for Taylor. Probably got let off there. Didn't think there was too much in the touch. But
and unfortunately for Bay of Plenty, for County, there hasn't been a huge momentum shift. As it happens, step back dive.
There he does it again.
And again, and again.
Oh, I thought that was going to be given.
Yeah, Taylor Hoy's on. Here goes Chauncey. Chauncey will look to have a little wee cheeky play down here with Sessu. Here comes the quickie. Here it is. Here's the 2-1 quickie. Oh, he couldn't quite get it. I know Sessu wanted it there. Gee, they're cheeky fellas at the end of the day. And there's the dingo, how they come down, knock down on the outside of the splitter, down through the middle. It's a nice wee mix-up of... I've tried it with a couple of teams and we can't quite crack it, but it's good to see it in action here.
Probably just I'm not sure if you heard that in the background, just encouraging the ref to continue to go well. I'm not sure how genuine that was.
Oh, I think we've got a sin bin here. I think the wing has been sin binned, and just to not give Sass the quickie there on the wing, and I think Chauncey wants to give it back to him for another crack here.
There has been a few more sin bins than normal. Obviously, I'm only based here on field number 1, but there's been a few more than I would normally see, and I think it doesn't look like let's just say it's for lighter stuff than normal. So there's a standard being set. People want to watch the game, they don't want to watch the rubbish. So this looks like the old Mexican standoff there.
Very, very smart with 4.5 minutes to go, Maya. Shaq's got himself in the middle, and he's done a lot of mahi during the game. Off the ball work, unseen work. Now it's time for Shaq to go and do his thing. Here we go. Here, go towards Chauncey, fade across.
The man who got the intercept. It's on Matt. Yeah, it's on gas. Here we go. Working with him again.
Great defense at the end of the day, though. These young kids on both teams.
I'm expecting a long ball here from Shaq. He's got a beautiful pass both ways. And he's going to prove me wrong. Left to right. Does he get it down? Full stretch. What's the sideline referee say? Touch. Oh, no. Going to clear it up.
One of our local referees from down in Christchurch there. It's a big call. Sass is giving it to him. Oh, on the short side. Oh, gee, that play that by Wilkie.
Hey, they've had the rub of a green on the few calls there, so County's boys down to 5. It's surprising once again, 6 versus 5 and repelled. There wasn't a try scored.
I think you also got to realise, I'm coaching in the 30s grade. There's a lot of 30-year-olds running around out here for this Bay of Plenty team, and they're still dominating at the top level, which is awesome that they just don't go into the 30s grade when they're still this sharp.
Yeah.
Sass hasn't subbed off. He's the far side wing. He's got a drink bottle over here in the County sub box. He's still looking for 21 quickies. That's the oldest play in the book. And I got to admit, after seeing it this morning, I let my 30s boys know, let's try it, and we got one, bro. So, old school touch. I've really enjoyed calling this game. Bay of Plenty have put on a clinic really on how to play solid touch. They've made a few mistakes coming into the sub box, but their touch has been clean, and they've just been picking the right options on attack. And 7-3, gee, that is a bit of a gap in the open men's grade at the moment. So Counties will regroup, go 1-from-1 after this game. 2.5 minutes, and here we go here. Boston fading across. They're looking for a 21 scoop as well.
No touch, probably a penalty for rolling early. As we know, you can't. Oh, no, that's for being probably a little bit too helpful with the referee.
Chauncey Edwinson's here. He 100% knows he wasn't onside, and he's just talking to the referee to take the acid off the winger who was well offside. So that's leadership as well. That's good. I'm not too sure if Chauncey's the captain, but he's definitely one of the main leaders in this group.
Counties will really want to score just for their own satisfaction, to take some momentum into their next game, although probably just wipe this one away. Oh, he wanted to go again. Maybe he didn't want to go, so he said, unfortunately I couldn't catch that.
Honestly, the way that they are plenty of defending, no more just hand the ball over and hone their defence like a bit of goal line at training. They're playing that good. Here we go. They're going to look for it again. You're not going to teach an old dog new tricks, Sassy. He's got that corner on lockdown. Old Koro out there who will teach everybody a few tricks. Coming in on a 32 peel. Great refereeing there.
Been quiet, Hutch, this game?
He's been quiet. I think he's carrying a little bit of might be carrying a little bit of a niggle, but at the end of the day, if you put the singlet on, you're on. But yeah, he's been quiet. The play kind of hasn't gone his way, and sometimes that just happens. Hence the reason why we probably have 14 guys, but This game is closing down now. Matty Sinclair will look to put a little bit of icing, get a positive out of this game.
Probably could have attacked him a lot more directly, right? He was offside. He almost waited till he got back on the scoreline before he had a dig at the line.
Yeah, exactly. But once again, I'll say, Chauncey Edwardson is a classy defender at link. And here he goes around the back door. He'll just be going through his motions at the moment. As you can see, the hamstring band is on. I spent a little bit of time with Chauncey late last night and in my hotel room. Unfortunately, they don't have any medical stuff. So I've got a masseuse and a physio in close quarters, man. So
I'm glad you explained that for us.
Yeah.
I was wondering where that was going.
I was going, and then this morning he's been strapped up by our lovely physio and our Canterbury team. And at the end of the day, you're here to get the best out of players. And here's Sass. Look, he got walked in there.
So we see a great touchdown there from Bay of Plenty. Sass been trying to wait for his try, his 21 cookie all the time, but when he had the opportunity just to stroll over, he made sure. You see a beautiful right to left pass out to Sass, who was already outside the winger. And then we stroll in and tell you what, Whānau, if you didn't have Bay of Plenty as one of your favourites in the Open Men's before this tournament started, after that performance they have to be, as we see the end score. Counties Manukau 3 and Bay of Plenty with a commanding victory 8. What a game.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.